that they feel like this is what this life is all about. It's kind of like a packaged life for them. You know, the other day I went to the zoo with one of my daughters and she's like, oh, what's that? We saw a lizard at the zoo, which is quite strange. I'm like, this thing's run around Africa. She's like, well, where do you see in Africa? Do they actually run around? I said, you see them outside. It's not a new thing. So these kids are not used to that. Another thing is, let's say, like what someone said on one of your live videos, is a big touch of where they are coming from. They don't understand where we are from. They don't understand the culture. The language issue. I learned how to speak my language at my parents whilst I was growing up. But I feel like my kids, I'm trying my best to see that they learn it, even if they don't speak it, that they understand everything. It's really, really hard to do that because not all kids will actually pick to. Some of them actually need more help when it comes to the language issue. And when you say something sometimes to my youngest, she said, Mom, can you say that in English? I'm like, no, I have to mix the language and English together in order to get her to genuinely understand. But if it's in Africa where they have cousins and all that, this language is something that's going to be easily, they can easily understand and probably have more chance of speaking the language. But it's a struggle here to actually get the kids to actually learn it because it's just you saying it to them. Fortunately, I won't say unfortunately.
All right, the other guy in the brown, your background is noisy and you're not turning it off. I brought a guy. You people saying I brought only ladies. That guy in the brown background. Your network is very bad. You are in a noisy place.
And another thing again that it freezes. Abroad is sweet too, if you know what you are doing. If you know what you're doing. If you know, like I said, if you know what you're doing. The downside is abroad is not easy. It's hard. There's I'm not discouraging anyone. It's hard to make money. You see some people you see that will come out like, oh, we leave this, they'll stay one corner of their house doing picture and video and all that. Some people actually live on overdraft here. Some people live on credit card. So when you see people, okay, they're abroad, oh, they live abroad, not everyone is smiling. Some of them are on benefits. Some of them are not really doing well. And not everyone has paper here. Not everyone is, has a legitimate stay abroad. So that's the downside of it. I think there's a few I can actually remember.
All right, Samaria, what is your take? Things that make abroad sweet and things that make abroad sour. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. I'm looking for my #1 gifter. Big shout out to Sounds of Afro Daily. That's my #1 gifter. And my #2 gifter on TikTok is Jolly T. I'm also looking for my money guns. Make those money guns pop. Pop, 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 pop. Make those money guns pop. All right, over to you.
Good evening to you. Hey, sister. Good evening to everyone else.
Is this Samantha or Samira?
None of the above.
Samaria.
Samaria. Oh, hi.
Samaria,
Hi.
how did you get that name? You tell us first before you even go.
Daddy Freeze, how else could I have gotten it? It's my name.
Is your
We Catholics.
real
Okay,
name?
growing up, yeah, of course, Daddy Freeze. Growing up, I came from a Christian home. Daddy Freeze, they're asking, is that my real name? Like, that's my account number. I mean, that's what's on my ID. If you weren't, even Instagram wouldn't have allowed me to verify my ID with my, my account with that.
Okay.
I come from a Christian home, so we bear mostly Catholic names. Like my sister is Gabriela. We have Maria Gorati. Stuff like that's it. That's by the way, sister. You made a comment. You said something. You said that we know abroad is hard, but I think I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I may not have heard that correctly, or I didn't catch you saying that. But I know majority of the people watching these are all, they're based overseas, so they understand what's going on here. But I would say if you are hardworking, if you have the energy to work, overseas is not for the weak. We know that.
It's not.
If anyone tells you there's no job, that's a lie. People who say no jobs are people who haven't set their priorities straight, who don't know what they wanted even before they came over. But if you know what you want, you know where you're going to, you sure would find yourself something. And that's why you see our young children, 14, 15 years, they all want to go there and work because, you know, there are lots of opportunities for everyone to work, unless you do not have the strength to work. So now the things that make overseas sweet, if you ask me, because I'm going to answer you based on my own perspective, I would tell you is the peace of mind. To some, they would say a lot of things go wrong here, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. But it's the peace, the sanity, the less noise. This is what I enjoy most. The fact that I don't have to step out there and there are horns. People are beeping. The horns are beeping. Pa, pa, pa. People are yelling, no, 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 Douglas, Douglas. All those things. This is what I love. You know, the fact that you have to work in, come in at the end of your stressful shift, come home at the end of the day. You don't need to bother. Oh, there's no light. Oh, go turn on the gen. Oh, why did NEPA take the light? You know, no water. You know, things like that. Mama, you know, be quiet. That's the same thing I'm talking about. The fact that this one, my little one here will say, I want this, I want that. You're able to get them at the comfort of your zone. Just order them online and there you go. You don't really need to stress so much about getting, hey, I'm on the phone, be quiet. Go wash your hands. So these are the things that I enjoy about overseas. And like I rightly said, especially the peace that comes in living overseas. You don't have people calling you. I mean, people do ask for help, but you know, it's a different thing if I were to be home and then someone is driving past my house. They all know that's where I live and they can just breeze in without notice, without consent. You see? So people, it's not when you even have enough time. Because the beautiful thing is that overseas is designed in a way that there's no room for lazing about. If you decide to stay in the house all day, you stay in the house. What are you going to do in the house? You're probably going to watch TV. The moment, the fact that that TV is on, you're burning your electricity. You have to pay for it. The internet you use for that TV, you're paying for it. The light that you're living on, you're paying for it. So even your phone, let's say you don't have any subscription or whatever. I mean, Nigeria, I may decide not to put a charge card on my phone for 3-5 months, even 1 year, and the line is still active. And I still use it, and you know, I can make and receive calls. I may not make calls, but I'll receive calls. But if you don't even put in you won't even receive, talk more of making. So you see, so it's not designed in a way that people will just lazy about without a purpose. You should have everyone, you know, you need to be able to step out there, because staying indoors will not help. Even though you're in the house, like I said, you're still wasting, you're spending money. Do it, I'm coming. So that's one of the beautiful things I enjoy about overseas. Now come to think about the other aspect, things that I do not enjoy. That's when I will talk about the loneliness. But that doesn't really disturb me. It doesn't bother me, simply because I'm not the type that, you know, I don't like to be all over the place. And I like to mind my business. I don't want to be with any, I mean, I just like, so because I'm good at minding my business, which is what I enjoy, I don't care about the loneliness. But a lot of people will not find it funny, because especially if you are the type that is used to being all over the place, having a lot of families, a lot of people around you, that's where it will be a challenge, you know? So now let's talk about the weather. The weather is harsh. The weather is not friendly at all. Everything is in excess. I think when it's hot in essence. When it's cold in excess. In some places. So everything just hits you. The sweetness comes in too much. But the beautiful thing is that you work and you get paid. You don't get owned. Nobody owns you. People, you don't have to say you worked for long and, you know, someone is, I mean, you don't work, you don't earn it, period. But in as much as you're able to work, you're good to go. So, I mean, what more can I say? And then it creates opportunity both for the children. It helps you. If you have a child that needs a special care, you're able to find, you know, special need homes or wherever. I mean, the hand is there to help you out. You will always find that help. That the society is there to help you. The government is there to be of help to you. So this having been said, I would tell you that I still prefer overseas to wherever we're coming from. See you tomorrow.
Daddy
Till
Fizz is going to
tomorrow.
fight
So
you.
you
Daddy Fizz is
prefer?
going to fight you.
No.
Daddy
You
Fizz
have the right.
doesn't like to wake up whenever he likes. He doesn't like chores. So for those reasons, he's cool wherever he is too. So, but come to think of it, overseas is not for elderly people.
No.
This saying that score the good when you day young. Use your energy that way you day young. Go and rugged it out there. And that's why I fumble at the people. I saw this video of people moving, crossing the border with their children, crossing the river, the sea with children because they're trying to come here from Mexico. And I began to wonder, why didn't they do those things when they were single? Why do you have to give birth to innocent children and start tormenting them, trying to involve them in your struggles of life? If you wanted to go overseas and hustle, you should have done that before saying I do and having children in the world. They don't have, no, they shouldn't be part of that, score. Do your thing. So overseas is, to me, it shouldn't be, unless you decide to move your family, based on your reasons. But you shouldn't at a point in your life when you should be putting your things together and tell yourself, oh, I need to travel overseas, that the would always say to go and start hustling at that age. What for? You should be resting. You should be taking fresh air.
At what age do you think someone should come abroad? At what age do you think? At what?
Someone should come overseas.
Yeah.
Well,
what age?
I would say adulthood starts at 18 years. It depends on your developmental, capabilities or whatever. If everyone's maturity and level of understanding and the level of exposure and handling of things are not the same. There are people that are 20, but even at 20, they still act like they are 10 years old. Meanwhile, there are people that are just 18 and they act like they are 30. So it all depends on you.
Do you think a 45-year-old man should come to the to start traveling?
Now, 45-year-old man, it depends. Is he married? Does he have kids?
If it's got kids,
in the past, there were things I would do. I'm not trying to, talk down on my siblings, for example, but then my immediate elder sister, and there are things that I may want to do, or there are things that my dad will see that, like, okay, when I was kidnapped, my dad was, he was worried, but at the same time, he was like, he knew I would come back. Reason being, let me tell you, I ran from the school I was in when I was 7 years old. I left the school, that was during election. That was 1998. I was in Madonna Primary School. I left where I was, boarded a bus, and headed home. At that age, 7, my dad was surprised. He had just returned from, election was going on. He just breezed in home to see what was going on. And surprisingly, he saw me. They do me check at that day. I collect. But what am I trying to say? At that age, so at me, there are measures, there are risk. My dad will tell you, you see that one? No, I trust her. She go do all right. So what am I saying? Everyone, your child, your kids, their capabilities, you know if you can trust them in, to an extent or not. If you have that kind of a child or that type of child, that is not a smart child. Not smart. No, I don't mean intelligence. Wisdom is different from knowledge. Don't get me wrong. When I say not smart, I don't mean that, the person may not necessarily be intelligent or be, what I mean by smart.
Yeah.
We know our child. If you have that kind of a child that you're sure that, okay, this is my child, if I leave them anywhere, they go there, wait for me. You better not send them. But if you have the type of children, that they can always record their way out, your heart goes strong. You're going to say, okay, we do okay, let them they go. So back to your question, 45 years, would you, 45 years with a child or without a child? With a wife or without a wife?
With family.
With family.
Yeah, with a family. How old what?
How old?
ZS just sent me $50 on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, ZS.
Thank you. Appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, remember my super chats and my super stickers. Thank you very much. Somebody just reminded me. If you're watching on TikTok, my #1 gifter is Sounds of Afro Daily, and my #2 gifter is Jolly T. Follow my #1 and my #2 gifter. All right, Samaria, you have spoken well. Let me see if I can add somebody else. Okay.
I feel like there's an age you get to. There's even
see
no
your
need.
face, my dear sister.
Okay. feel like there's a particular age you get to as an adult. You see this abroad, there's no need coming. You know why? I'm not trying to stop anyone from coming. Abroad is no joke. There are times it can be really bitterly cold. You understand that kind of cold? When you say your hand, it will be like saying, no, they walk, like it block. You they find cold water to put out to defrost your hand. It gets really, really crazily cold. Excuse my language. It gets really, really badly, bitterly cold sometimes. That you look that as if your blood is no longer flowing. You must have experienced it where you start feeling itchy, like you're very, very itchy. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. How do you, a man that's getting close to 50, what kind of husband are you coming to hustle? Let's be honest. What kind of hustle? You know, you're just coming in.
I was asking.
If you're saying, people in the comment section will say, whenever you get to, you get to, you get to. There are some people that come to this, but let's be honest, they start regretting it. The thing is, when you don't come, see, we all settle differently, and there's the different reasons why we're here. Some are actually here as a result of marriage. If you're coming here as a result of marriage, you're getting married to someone that's already a citizen, that's been here for quite a long time. The person will help you settle in. Do you get what I mean? In a situation where you're coming with a visiting visa, or you're coming as a student, it's going to end anyway in September in the UK. I really wish it continued, honestly. You know, if you're coming with that and you're quite old, and I'm not like you're old, I don't want to use the word, so it won't sound insulting. You're close to 50, or you're about that running, getting to that 50, or you're 50. I just feel it's a waste of time, because by the time you come here, before you settle, and they don't make having your papers easily. Before you get your papers, you're already planning for retirement. You're planning, except you're thinking of working to 70. And when you come here, for your body to actually adjust, because already you're not, this is not your adaptation. It is hard for you to come in your 20s, not talk of to come in when you're approaching 50. Then you start running with the small boys, doing care from one place to the other, because you don't come and start as a big man. That's the truth.
And the ones that getting
you don't come
weak
and start
at
as
that
a
time.
big man.
The body is
weak. People are retiring. People are planning. People plan themselves. They're already retiring. How do you get? And you know, the older you get, the more cold, the more easy it is for you to go cold. You go cold easily. You know, go cold easily, no matter the jacket. And when you come, sometimes some people go to Primark and go and buy coats. Primark coats cannot even hold the kind of cold when it is bitterly cold.
But please don't
you don't even know how to pad yourself.
Please don't forget there are people that may be 50 or 40, but they don't look it. It all depends on your health.
It's not
because I've seen someone that is 49 years old and you would think he's just 23. So it depends on your strengths and your health history. If you don't have any health complication and you know medical history, you're good to go. Not when you are the type, you have a BP issue, other things, and then you're going overseas to go and start.
Sometimes you might not have it, you will develop it. You know that, right? Sometimes you might not have it. This country would make you have it. Some people don't have blood pressure issue and they developed it here. The bills alone, when you can't pay your bills, you have BPO, and that bill you pay because you believe
stress.
You pay that bill whether you like it or not. Some people sell their properties and they come here, they start regretting. You're neither here nor there. So sometimes before you run, say abroad, when you tell them abroad, like, oh, you don't want us to come. Sometimes you're just using your number 6, calculate, and when this is also age. Is it worth it? Is it worth me leaving my job that I have here already? Is it worth me selling my properties, going into debt, not to come to the UK or come to America? America is not easy. UK is not easy. Abroad, not easy. If you come, you will not start as a big man. You are going to go, and if you're a manager somewhere, just don't forget managerial job. You're not getting it like that. You're going into that code, because you cannot get, if at all you want to be a manager at some point, you have to work your way. You have to do some courses, except you're coming with the expatriates or whatever you're coming with. But if you're coming, you will start from afresh. You will go and do care home. You go do care home, especially if you're not coming here with whatever. You go and do care home. I'm not trying to condemn Primark, for someone saying about Primark is whatever. Primark is good. What I'm trying to say is you're not gonna get a cheap coat. The coats that will close that code, that because when you come, the code is gonna hit you. It's gonna be worse than people that have been here. Sometimes the Igbo man is not even used to their code, but you can adapt easily. It takes time. You always cold. Even in summer, you'll be cold. You're going to be cold in summer because you're not used to it. That's the truth. It takes you time, takes the body time. Sometimes, I don't know, people don't like being told the truth. That's why sometimes you just withhold the truth and let them come and experience themselves. I feel like if you're getting to 50, health reasons or no health reasons, you don't have any. I'm not stopping you from coming. It's not worth it.
Okay,
it's not.
Let's say to leave, not to come, because people may travel for
Yes,
holidays, for insurance, health-related issues, but it's not advice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise anyone at that age to relocate overseas and start, starting life, begin to start life.
Before you get your paper, don't they do 50 years? Wait till you work. You do care. Bend your waist. All the waist is finished. You bend your waist, do this, a clean word, this and that. The things you have, especially for those men that are used to, they can't boil water in their home. They can't cook. They don't do anything. They leave everything to the woman. Reality will dawn on you when you come here. Reality, that's the truth. You're going to be working in a care home, or you're going to be working under the train station where you have to be cleaning up. It's just going to be a mania job.
I beg anybody,
you're going to get the money.
Come. If you feel come. If you're 70 years, you won't come. I beg they come. You won't bring your grandpa.
Come.
Let me go feed you. Anybody else come, I beg.
Experience.
So what you ladies are suggesting is the best time to go abroad is when you are younger.
That it frees. A lot of risk are best taken when at a stage in life.
Yeah.
The more I mature, the more responsible I become. Certain risks. I used to be all over the place. If I'm not in Paris today, I'm in SA, I'm in UK. But not now. If you tell me to go, I'm not gonna go anywhere right now. I don't care what. Even if you decide to get me a ticket, I'm not going. I used to enjoy traveling and flying, but not anymore because I believe I have a responsibility. So I feel the more people mature, there's this sense of reasoning and, the way you should behave. I mean, why is it so okay for, I'm trying to be a bit, go away from our conversation, but why is it okay for these men to see all these young boys, give them change, a money that won't cover their expenses, their gas, their diesel in a week, and ask them to go and buy somebody and go and buy the people regardless? At that age, why can't those men do it themselves? Because they've come to understand the realities of life. The more you mature, the more you value life. Now you have a family, because those children will go there, then go reach there. Even if they look that person, say you're a child, they cry. That's more money where you give them, because they're not thinking right at that moment. It's all about what they will do with that change you go give them. Then go buy the person, they go where then they go. It's a stage and age of risk. So the more I don't know, but this is how I see it. The more you grow, you mature, you begin to have value for life the more. So certain risks are not worth it anymore. So if you want to take such risk, go overseas, relocate, go to another man's land for greener pasture, do it when you don't have a lot of responsibilities. Responsibilities, I mean, is children and a wife to account to. Do it when you feel that you can do it. Not when you leave innocent kids there and you go out there struggling. Nobody knows if you're going to come back or not. So that's how I see it.
Somebody said care. Some people are saying care job. Oh, care job is not what's care job. Okay, care job is when you work in a health sector. More like when you do I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like you look after people. You work in a care home. It might be like for dementia and dementia, elderly, and people that have got learning difficulties and all that. Sometimes they do have a home where they take these people to, or where some of these old people actually they spend their life. They don't have anyone looking after them, so you're kind of like responsible for them. You work in a company.
So someone said that if I were to be married to Jeff, I would be all over the place because of my pockets. No, you lie, sweetie. Because even when I have
married to who?
That if I were married to Jeff.
Who is Jeff?
The billionaire.
Oh,
that I would be. But what the person doesn't understand, that even when I have people willing to get me those tickets, it's not about that. Let me tell you, I lost my mom at 7 years old. I understand the pain of growing up without a mom as a child. Now I have a responsibility, which is my daughter. So any trip that is not worth it, that doesn't mean I can't go on vacations or whatever with my loved one. But in as much as I'm not traveling with my loved one, that can stay.
Yeah.
Okay? So any a trip that is not worth it. I did it when I was single, when I was by myself, not anymore. So it's not worth it, and that's how I see it. So
Okay.
that impression you have is wrong. It doesn't work like that.
All right, guys. Let me just take one more person, and after that we end. Mama Tuzi, I've sent you an invite. You're going to be our very last caller for today, because I've just been tired these days. So Mama Tuzi, over to you.
Hi.
Let's hear you.
Hi, Samaria. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I just wrote something, actually. I said, Samaria, I will not compare your situation or my situation with the majority of people that relocate abroad. When we came to overseas, we had some financial stability. At least we still probably have family members we could call if we ever get into any kind of financial issue here, both you and I. Not everybody, majority of Nigerians that actually leave Nigeria or that japa, I won't consider you japa. You left, you could stay, you'll be comfortable, but you left for some reason, particularly for security, for yourself, for your kids. So you didn't just japa like, because for financial problem or anything like that. Myself, I didn't japa. I'm not a japa person. I left Nigeria when I was very young. I came to school. I've been here schooling and everything. So that's why I said, comparing our own situation with people that japa because of financial situation that they were in Nigeria, and believing that going overseas will give them the best opportunity at life, it's different. Many of them, when they come here, first off, they don't have the legal backing. They probably came with student visa, and then when they get here, they don't even have money to continue the education, so they drop out of school. And the moment you take one semester without authorization away from school, you are out of status. Technically, in the United States, if US is like any other country, you will be in Nigeria already. But US doesn't go around picking people up. So a lot of our people are still, they can be here as far as they come in legally with their visa. So with US also, gone were the days when you can just go and get a job and everybody will give you a job. A lot of companies here with menial jobs, whether Walmart, whether McDonald's, whether KFC, they do e-verify. So if I go there to apply for a job, they're going to e-verify it. If I don't have papers, if I don't have any kind of social security. As a matter of fact, let me tell you this. When I came to the United States in 2003, school actually will be it's actually school that will process our social security number for us. We don't go do that ourselves. Now you can't get social security if you don't have any kind of legals, whether work permit or anything like that. I know a lot of this because I help a lot of people with immigration stuff. So if a lot of these things are there now, things have changed. They are affecting so many things. Thankfully, we have Amazon and Uber now, that if you have license or even if you don't, you might be able to at least do Uber, or you can even do Amazon. And by the way, that's Amazon Flex.
Explain to us, which one is Amazon?
Amazon Flex, it's called Amazon Flex. Amazon Flex is like, it's like Uber Eats. So Amazon, they are from their warehouses. You can, if I order something on Amazon, like Amazon Prime and all of that, those ones can come and deliver it to me. So they are delivery drivers, but for Amazon. So like Uber now, like when you order something from the store and Uber goes picks it, but this is for Amazon. So this has actually been very helpful to a lot of immigrants, both Nigeria and otherwise. It's been very helpful to them. And now, just yesterday, actually, because my husband knows a lot about this one. Yesterday, actually, we know, I can tell you for a fact, they even changed their system now. They never used to scan their driver's license. Now they do it. If you're in a state like Texas, Texas doesn't give you a driver's license if you are an illegal immigrant, because they will ask you whether you're a student, you need to bring your I-20 because they need to know you are in status. Whether you are a non-immigrant, but they need to know you are in this thing. If you're in California, California will give you driver's license, even if you are an illegal immigrant. So if you're in all these liberal states, things are still a bit easier. But if you're in Texas, if you're in Georgia, if you're in Alabama, if you're in Tennessee, if you're in Louisiana, if you're in Kentucky, all these places are, as I don't want to use the R word, that is what they are. So I see somebody said my husband works, your husband, they work, no, my husband, but I have a lot of people around me that actually does Amazon stuff too. Even students can do it. That's a side also just like Uber driving. So there are so many things that goes into this. Yes, like you said, abroad is really nice, but you are talking as a professional, I am talking as a professional. A lot of people in America are not white collar people. They are blue collar employees. And blue collar employees don't make as much as us. As a matter of fact, even people like us now, what is helping a lot of people, I know this, my sister said she had to change, you change the career. People, a lot of Nigerians now are doing IT. And again, I don't want to talk this word, but make I just use PG. I'm hoping each PG, they don't go understand me. Even the IT stuff, I can guarantee how many of our Nigerian people, ask them when the year when they reach here, make them can't defend waiting them put on their resume, say they get that experience through. So, you know, so we know all of this. We know how this works. All the Indians will say, then go get the license, then go they work here. But now person where they India, they do the job. But now they are this thing go here, so they do multiple jobs. So, you know, as immigrants, we know all this parole. But the thing is that not a lot of people have opportunity to this. Like the other sister said, we don't have that community. You see, Indians have that community, sense of community. We don't have it. Indians can say, oh, okay, Samaria. Samaria will say, I'll say I'm Samaria, and I will use Samaria's this thing to be working. Nigerians don't do that. We don't really help each other, which you know that already. We don't. As a matter of fact, I can say I've gotten more favors from people that are not Nigerian, that other Africans and white people, black people, than fellow Nigerians. That is the reality, is the truth. We don't really do much. Yeah. But Nigerians, when you talk about what is good about here, like Samaria said, security, the peace of mind, at least is there. Though now I have anxiety every time I'm dropping my child off at school. And I don't want to receive a phone call that there's a shooting somewhere, because this is the everyday life in America as a parent. That is your fear. And I live in a state where you can carry a gun now. Nobody should ask you, where did you get the gun? Where's your license? Because you don't need license. I live in Texas. So I know that. So, but when you're talking about if you have the legal status, you can work. If you don't work, if you have legal status and you don't work, then you are lazy. Then we can call those people lazy. But I don't want us to use brush stroke and say, oh, if you're overseas and you're not working, you're just lazy. No. A lot of people that are illegal, that cannot work, they are doing under the table payment for them. But those people are not paying them even the minimum wage. Minimum wage in America is $8.25. When you go and work without papers and they're paying you under the table, they are even paying you less than what you're supposed to get as minimum wage. That is the reality. That is what is going on. And it's not just Nigerian community that has been affected. The all immigrant community has been affected about this. So I just want us, because I know that this whole anti-abroad thing has already caused some brouhaha yesterday with Daddy Freeze, and our Ibadan blood went off yesterday. So I just don't want anybody to be offended, because I know that we can't understand everybody's circumstance. I am very grateful that I had the support when I came here. Through my 20s, I had the support. Even when I finished school, when I was working, and I get a little bit distant, I had the support that was there. But I'm also conscious and being self-aware that not everybody actually have that opportunity that was afforded to me or to Samaria. No, but not everybody. If Daddy Freeze's daughter comes overseas now, she knows she can call her dad. If she ever gets in any kind of thing, he would not leave her hanging. He can bail her out a little bit. But not everybody is in that shoe, especially people that jackpot. Most of the people that jackpot have sold everything. What if they have people to sponsor their overseas travel? They won't be selling properties and all of that to begin with. So that's something that I just think we should be self-aware and be careful the way we phrase it. I don't want us to use brush stroke to just paint everybody as being, well, if you're overseas and not working, you must be lazy. Or not you, Samara, you didn't say that. But you know, the way it came across when the other sister was saying that there's work. Yes, there is plenty of work to do, but you also need to realize that it's not everybody that can also get that job. It's there. It used to be like that. It's just not, which Trump even made it worse. This is the same administration that Daddy Freeze, literally Trump administration, was deliberately denying, or they will they hired people that were incompetent, that people's application for their papers were being deliberately sabotaged, that even NAACP actually sued Trump administration for this. This is a matter of fact because I have lawyers, a friend that actually know this and they can tell you. So with Trump, it even got worse. So things are different now in America.
Hold on 1 second. Big shout out to Prince Lasisi. Prince Lasisi sent me 1,000 stars on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, go to Facebook. You could go to Facebook right now. Search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE, Daddy Freeze. Scroll down to today's video, bottom left-hand corner, you will see how to buy stars. Okay, once again, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Scroll down to today's video, you'll see how to buy stars. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, how you doing, guys? Super chat, super stickers, they're all available. Bottom of the chat section, you'll see a little rectangle with a $sign inside. Click on it, that's how you get your superstars or super chats, etc. TikTok people, double click the screen, and don't forget, I'm still looking for my #1 gifter, Chef Chifo's collection, and my #2 gifter, Sounds of Afro Daily. Follow my #1 and my #2 gifter. All of a sudden, I've got a new #1 gifter. Sorry, #2 gifter being. And if you don't forget to send those money guns while you're at it. Thank you, Prince Lasisi. So, in a nutshell, as we sign off, do you agree, Samaria?
On what in particular?
On what she's been saying.
Yes, I mean, her points are valid. She good. To an extent.
I don't think we differ in what exactly, especially when you're talking about age of traveling.
Right.
I can tell you, I agree with you. If you're in your 60s and that's when you say you want to come here, 60. Even me that I'm 47, my joints, they pay me sometimes. So,
unless you are getting an offer from home, let's say government work, maybe they offered you something and, you know, kind of offer to bring you over here with your documents and everything.
Or you have enough money from Nigeria to buy a house.
I know a lot of nurses that agencies are bringing over. They're bringing them and they're coming, just like NHS them to UK.
Yes.
So in such a case, that's fine. You can go.
That's fine. Yes.
You don't have
are those people in their 50s?
No gain, no plan, nothing.
Yeah.
There's just one japa. You say your property borrow japa.
Samaria, let me even buttress your point. I can say this categorically. If you're coming over here, especially, I don't know about any other country, but to America, there's a reason they call it the land of the free and the home of the brave, and it's land of opportunity. If you're coming here, come with some skills, please. Learn anything. Hair, sewing,
fabbing, Do you know America try a lot? No, when it comes to helping, America try a lot. All the discrimination.
If you know skills, yes.
People please don't stop you on the way and start searching your.
No, they won't do that. And as a matter of fact, America is the only country that I know that you can get to America today and start a business. They won't tell you not to register. Even illegal immigrants have businesses.
They will help you, yes.
You will start business. So if you know how to barb hair, you can rent a cubicle in in other shop, and then everybody is doing their own thing. You have your own customers. You can do your own hair. You can do hair for people. You can learn mechanic work. You can learn how to fix trucks. I can tell you now to fix trailer 18-wheelers. Because you know my husband, we have a logistics business for 18-wheelers. Then. When the business was still running before you put it on this thing, to fix the thing they were charging $100 per hour. That is not the cost of your supply, whatever part. So you buy your part, but it's $100 an hour they will charge you. So if the job is going to take 4 or 5 hours, you can imagine that. So learn some skills, plumbing, whatever. Don't think it's only in Nigeria that we always think that skill is beneath me. But it's not just Nigeria. Funny thing, I come to know that even Asians and Middle Easterns think the same way too. If you're not a doctor, if you're not a professional, you are not up there. They consider skills. Meanwhile, in America, skilled people are the ones making the money. That is the truth. If you're a business person, you're going to be making, that's where, calling plumber now or calling somebody to paint your house or even people to mow your lawn. So learn some skills. It will be very helpful. So that's the advice I will give you. That's the advice I give my own family members, my relatives, that you should learn some skills. My friend, one of my friends, when she came for her master's, when she was in school, her uncle was helping her with her tuition, but for all her bills, her rent and everything, she was doing people's hair, and that's what she was using to pay that. So yes. So if you can learn skills, please do that. It will be of tremendous help to you. You will not regret it. That's the only advice I can give. I can't tell you not to travel, but just think very well. What do you want to do? Have a plan. Don't come here without no plan. Have a plan. And that's it.
All right. Anything you want to add, Samaria? Samaria, do you know how to do plumbing?
Why you have your plan when you make your money? When you make your money, file your tax. There is always advantage.
Let's talk about taxes. How bad is the tax situation abroad?
Not me right now because my head is aching badly. Don't me to talk that. All I'm saying is file your taxes.
Just file your tax.
File your tax.
It depends. It depends on your tax. It depends. If you are making... If you will pay tax, just know that. Now you might get something back.
For example, I had an offer for one of my jobs, right? And they gave me an offer of, for example, it was a 10,000, to sign up, bonus with them. But the tax for that 10,000 was 30%. So they apparently took 3,000 out of that 10,000.
Yeah.
So it depends on your job, how much you make and stuff like that.
It depends.
Yes. I mean, what I meant by the money that they took was that one-time fee payment, that one-time money I was given. I had to take that on that particular amount.
30%. That's a lot.
It's for that particular money that I was given for that particular job.
Yeah, tax is something that, okay, so the difference between US, what irritates you about US and compared to like Canada or to like UK is at least if you pay high tax, then you still get some services that you don't need to pay for. The NHIS is there in UK and all this stuff. In US, you pay tax and you still pay all this, your health insurance and all of this. So nothing is really free. It's a capitalist society anyway.
But you can
but your tax
file at the end of the day, at the end of the year.
Yeah, but it depends. I paid $18,000 in tax. I didn't get one kobo back. I still hold them additional 5,000. So I don't even get anything on my kids because I fall into a different tax bracket. So not even everybody. That's the thing. People get money. You get child tax credits. There's something called child tax credit that you get when you file. So depending on how much you make for the year and depending on how much you spend on child care, they can give you up like $1,000 on a child back in your tax. But then your income can throw you off. Like a lot of people that I know that are like doctors and all of that, they don't even qualify for all these things because first of all, they say you make enough money, you don't. So even our nurses now that are working like 2 jobs and they're ending up with like $150,000, $200,000 a year, it's like your tax is taking like a lot of your money. You've been working for.
Include your health insurance and everything.
Your health insurance. So all of these things. So for me now, say by the time you make like, if you make like say you make hypothetically now, say you make like $4,000 in 2 weeks, and by the time they take your tax, then they take your Medicare, then they take your Social Security, then they take your health insurance. If you have dental, they take that. If you have eye insurance for your eyes, they take that. And then if you do, then they take your retirement. Then if you have supplementary retirement, they take the supplementary retirement. So by the time you end up with your money from your $4,000, now you have $2,100 left. And
wow,
you have to pay your rent. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. I just gave you that. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's been wonderful hanging out with you. Thank you so much, Mama Tuzi. It's always educative having you on. And thank you, Samaria. I learned a lot from you too, on and off the live. Yeah. Samaria is my very special sister. So
Samaria, where are you in the US?
More
Samara,
like
where
a
are you?
Mr.
I'm in
Lassisi sent me
Houston,
another
Texas.
1,000
Okay. Ah,
stars on
you're my
Facebook.
neighbor. I'm in Dallas, so.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry
my
for being
Dallas
back
people,
on and
take good
off.
care of yourselves. The rest of
Ah,
you,
he's soft.
take
So
care.
pray for us. Pray for us because our temperature here tomorrow will be 112.
Yeah.
So
We had 103 today, 104.
yeah, today here is 108 in Dallas.
That's
So
cool.
it's really
It's
hot.
cool. So, Pele
And the
guys.
sun, they down, they hit us directly. You
Yeah.
know, I just saw the day far. You go, they hit you even Abuja. But this one, be like, say, it did close to your skin. They hit you directly like this.
Oh my God. Yeah. So.
Anyway, guys, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Lovely hanging out with you. Do
Yes,
take
sir.
care of
Thank you for
yourselves
having me.
and God bless. Samaria, bye. Mama
You
Tusi.
too, sir.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Lassisi, for sending me another 1,000 stars on Facebook and all. Okay, only one person sent me super stickers on YouTube. Let me give a big shout out to her again. I know it's a lady. Thank you so much. ZS or ZS. Thank you very much. And everybody who came out on TikTok too, thank you all. Take care. See you tomorrow. A whole lot more to talk about. Goodbye.